in life, she's supposed to move on. She can live her life and stuff like that. I mean, it's been 5 years and all that, and that's her choice. If that was true, but nigga, when it comes to morals and principles in our minds, nigga, and whatever mental world that I'm in, nigga, I'm not. That's Kobe, nigga.
But what's the moral?
I don't want to see you move on. I don't want to see her move on. I don't want to see Laura London move on. I don't want to see y'all move on. Do that shit privately.
So there's.
You know what's funny about expectations? People always act like they're set in stone, like there's a single right way for life to play out, especially when it comes to loss. The expectation is that if you're the widow of a legend, you're supposed to live like a statue, frozen in that moment forever. But the reality? Life doesn't follow the rules strangers write for you. And that gap between the fantasy people build in their heads and the reality someone actually lives. That's where this entire storm around Vanessa Bryant just exploded. And I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. I think that, that's not what...
No, I know you're not saying that, but I'm just saying the idea that she did something wrong and she's violating some code. I wanted to kind of know first...
When Kobe died again?
2020. Like January 26th.
Hey, dog. Yo, dog.
There's a lot of people that have problems with widows moving on for some reason.
You saw the headlines, you saw the posts, maybe you even saw the deleted IG live. The rumors were everywhere. Kobe's widow, pregnant. Not just pregnant, but allegedly by a young rising baller. A baby bump spotted here, a grainy photo there. The internet turned into an episode of CSI in real time. But before we even dive into the wild, messy, and frankly exhausting details of this.
Internet has been crazy the last couple of days about this Vanessa Bryant story. I know y'all have heard it at this point. There was a rumor going on for the last 3 or 4 days that Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant, was pregnant. Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller, basketball player.
A young baller.
That was the quote that was in the on the news. It said a young baller. I'm assuming they meant basketball player.
We need to zoom out, because the reason this rumor hit like a grenade has less to do with gossip and more to do with the weight of Kobe's legacy, who's protecting it, and who's allowed to move forward without being crucified for it. Let's break down what really happened. Click confirm. Yes, Vanessa Bryant's name shot to the top of trending charts. Yes, there was speculation about a pregnancy.
Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller, basketball player.
A young baller.
That was the quote that was in the on the news. It said a young baller. I'm assuming they meant.
And yes, LeBron James himself allegedly stepped into the mix with a live stream that had people hitting record faster than a fan at a Beyoncé concert. But here's where the twist comes in. The common belief was that this was just harmless celebrity drama, a case of who's dating who that we've seen 1,000 times. The contrarian take? This was never just about a rumor. This was about a sacred line, a code, and the way Kobe Bryant's memory is being handled in 2025. In proof? It's all in the timeline. The story didn't start last week. It's been building for years, hidden behind PR statements, paparazzi flashes, and carefully staged public appearances. You can trace the sparks all the way back to when Kobe married Vanessa at 22 against his parents' wishes, to when he sued those same parents for trying to sell his memorabilia, to the day his helicopter crashed and the world froze, and suddenly Vanessa was handed the crown as the guardian of his name, his brand, his legacy.
Kobe wife pregnant and y'all females out here defending her, talking about, oh, she's allowed to move on. Actually, no the fuck she not. And when you got kids by a motherfucker like Kobe Bryant, you ain't never supposed to disgrace his legacy. See, this be y'all problem. Y'all think she on the same scale as y'all when she not. You gotta understand, you got pregnant by a regular person in the hood who got smoked by trying to rob the wrong person. Not her. She got pregnant by the Black Mamba. She's supposed to die a legend, just like him. If it was up to me, she wouldn't have access to no more funds or my estate. Tell your new dude to pay for your lifestyle.
Every single crack in that foundation was there long before LeBron hit go live. Here's the plan for this breakdown. First, we're going to hit the point that set the internet on fire, LeBron's involvement, and why it's not as simple as he was just looking out. Then, we're going to get into the best point of all, the years of family tension, betrayals, and lawsuits that explain why Vanessa's every move gets magnified into a cultural battle. After that, we'll work through the rest. The toxic double standards widows face, the social media circus, and why Kobe's legacy is being fought over like an empire with no king. Let's start with the second best point, LeBron James stepping into this. On paper, it sounds random. Why would the NBA's biggest active star put himself in the middle of someone else's personal business? But the context changes everything. LeBron wasn't just another Laker when Kobe was alive. He was the chosen heir, the one Kobe passed the torch to. They weren't lifelong friends in the way people imagine, but they had a bond forged in that rare air where legends recognize legends. And when Kobe passed in 2020, LeBron became not just a teammate in memory, but a keeper of the flame. When whispers started that Vanessa might be pregnant by a young baller, it didn't land as a fun piece of gossip for LeBron. It landed like someone tagging graffiti on a mural he's been guarding for 5 years. On that now-deleted IG Live, LeBron allegedly said, "There's timing, there's respect, some things you don't do, especially not like this." And while some fans brushed it off as overprotective big brother energy, others saw it as him trying to control a widow's choices. But application-wise, this wasn't just about Vanessa. It was about protecting the mythology of Kobe, keeping the story clean, the image polished, the grief still sacred, framing it like that is what makes this so volatile. Because when LeBron spoke, the internet split into two camps, one yelling, "Let her live," the other shouting, "Too soon." And the real kicker? Both sides think they're defending Kobe. Now, here's where we move into the best point. The deeper story most people didn't connect to this moment. Vanessa's relationship with Kobe's family has been complicated since day one. His parents didn't attend their wedding. Years later, they tried to auction off his memorabilia without asking. Kobe sued them. When he died, Vanessa didn't mention their names in her eulogy, and they didn't speak at his memorial. Dr. Umar Johnson even went viral calling her out for allegedly freezing Joe Bryant out of the spotlight. Then came her own mother, Sophia Lane, suing her for $5 million, claiming she'd worked as an unpaid nanny for years. This wasn't just family drama. It was public, messy, and brutal. Vanessa clapped back hard, accusing her mom of extortion, taking away the house and car she'd been given. That lawsuit alone showed how high her walls had become. And in that context, LeBron stepping in on IG doesn't just look like him defending Kobe. It looks like yet another man telling Vanessa how she's allowed to live her life, when for years she's been fighting off people, family included, who've tried to control or cash in on her position. That's why this entire thing is such a powder keg. Every move Vanessa makes gets run through the filter of what would Kobe think, even though Kobe isn't here to speak for himself. And the rehook here is that this isn't just a Vanessa Bryant problem. It's a cultural problem with how we treat widows of icons. There's an unspoken rule. If your husband was a legend, you're supposed to stay in mourning forever. The moment you smile too much, date someone new, or God forbid look pregnant, the world comes for you. And that double standard is everywhere. Queen Flip even compared Vanessa's situation to Lauren London after Nipsey Hussle's death, still getting side-eye years later for dating rumors. People claim it's about respect, but the reality is it's about control. Fans think they own the narrative of these women's lives because they were married to someone the culture loved. Now, add social media to the mix, and it's chaos on steroids. TikTok detectives analyzing every photo. Reddit threads with 1,000 comment deep dives on bump visibility. The Shade Room posting side-by-sides like it's a championship game. And all of this while no concrete proof of a pregnancy exists. It's pure digital theater, and Vanessa is the unwilling start rehooking again. This isn't just gossip. This is the latest chapter in a bigger war over who owns Kobe Bryant's legacy. Is it Vanessa, who stood by him through 20 years of fame, scandals, and tragedy? Is it LeBron, who carries the Lakers' torch? Is it the fans who see Kobe as theirs? Or is it his parents, who brought him into the world but were cut out of the will entirely? And here's the wildest part. That war didn't start after Kobe died. It started while he was still here. Every lawsuit, every feud, every family split was laying the groundwork for the mess we're seeing now. And as much as people want to point fingers at Vanessa, LeBron, or the media, the truth is this kind of legacy battle was inevitable the moment the Black Mamba left the court for the last time. Let's close the loop. Expectation. Vanessa would live her life quietly, forever in Kobe's shadow, untouchable, untarnished, still the grieving widow 5 years later. Reality. She's a 40-year-old woman who's survived lawsuits, public betrayal, and raising kids in the glare of global fame, and she's still getting told what she can and can't do with her own life. Expectation. LeBron's involvement was a petty overstep. Reality. He's been carrying the pressure of Kobe's torchbearer role for half a decade, watching every move that could alter the myth, the end of the day. this isn't about a bump, a baller, or a deleted live stream. It's about the fact that Kobe Bryant's legacy is still shaping lives, dictating choices, and sparking battles long after he's gone. And maybe the real honor isn't in keeping things frozen in time. Maybe it's in letting the people he loved find a way to live again without being chained to the past. If you've been locked in this whole time, you already know this story is way bigger than the headlines. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like if you think it's time to rethink how we treat the legacies of our icons, and subscribe because trust me, the next chapter in this saga is coming, and you're going to want to be here when it breaks.